Picture this, you just wrote a $20,000 check to a marketing agency because you're sick and tired of the feast or famine cycle. 3 months later, you're sitting in your office, staring at your bank account, wondering where the hell all that money went and why your phone still isn't ringing. Sound familiar? What's up, contractors? I'm Mauricio Cardinal from Contractor Marketing Pros, and I'm about to reveal why so many of you feel burnt, frustrated, and ready to give up on marketing altogether, and more importantly, how to avoid this nightmare before it happens. Today, I'm going to save you thousands of dollars and months of frustration by showing you the 9 things you must have in place before you even think about hiring a marketing agency. Look, I've seen this disaster play out hundreds of times. A contractor calls me up, frustrated as hell, saying, "We've hired this agency 6 months ago, spent 15 grand, and we got nothing to show for it." Now, don't get me wrong, there are some bad agencies out there that overpromise and underdeliver. They'll promise you the moon, take your money, and disappear when the results don't come. But here's what I found out in most cases when I dig in deeper. The contractor expected the agency to be a magic wand. They thought they could just write a check and watch the leads pour in while they sit back and do nothing. It's like hiring an employee and expecting them to perform at the highest level without any training, without any onboarding, without any support from you. That employee is gonna fail. And it's not their fault, it's yours. The same thing happens with marketing agencies. You can't just throw money at the problem and expect it to fix itself. Marketing is a team effort, and if you're not prepared to do your part, you're gonna waste money every single time. So here are the 9 negotiables you need to have locked down before you hire anyone. Number 1, first step is get educated. This is your foundation right there. This is where everything starts. Marketing is not gonna save your company if you don't understand how it works. You don't need to become a marketing expert, but you need to have a thorough understanding of the fundamentals. Here's your thing. I just had Al Levy from 7 Power Contractor on my podcast, and he gave some brilliant advice. He recommends that the owner should fill the role of marketing manager in the beginning, and he's absolutely right. Think about it. You wouldn't hire a project manager without understanding construction, would you? You wouldn't let someone else handle your finances without understanding your numbers. So why would you hand over your marketing, the lifeline of your business, to someone else without understanding how it works? When you're the marketing manager, even temporarily, you learn the language. You understand the basics. You know what good performance looks like versus what's just smoke and mirrors. I would recommend reading books, watching YouTube courses, take a course. Really, I don't care how you do it, but you need to educate yourself. Because if you don't understand what your agency is doing, how are you going to know if they're doing it right? How are you going to know if they're wasting money or they're actually building something that will grow your business? This education isn't optional. It's a difference between being a smart buyer and being someone who gets taken advantage of. Number 2, know your customer avatar. Who is your ideal customer? And don't say anyone who needs a roof. That's not an avatar. That's wishful thinking. Here's what I mean. Let's say you're a roofer. Your ideal customer might be a 45-year-old homeowner, household income of $75,000 or more, living in a house that's 15 to 20 years old. They're dealing with minor leaks that are getting worse. They're worried about protecting their biggest investment, and they make decisions based on trust and reputation rather than just price. That's a customer avatar. That's someone your agency can actually target. You need to know their age, their income, where they live, what keeps them up at night, and how they make buying decisions. Do they research online for weeks before calling? Do they get 3 quotes and go with the middle one? Are they motivated by fear or damage or excited by improving their home? And here's something most contractors don't think of. You probably have more than one type of ideal customer. Maybe you also work with property managers who manage apartment complexes or commercial buildings. Well, that property manager is nothing like the homeowner I just described. They care about speed, reliability, and keeping their tenants happy. They make decisions totally differently, and you're going to reach them in completely different ways. Your agency can't hit a target you haven't defined. If you tell them to get more leads, they're shooting in the dark. But if you say, I want leads from homeowners aged 40 to 60 with household incomes of over 60K who are dealing with storm damage, now they can create laser-focused campaigns that actually convert. Without a clear avatar, you're wasting money on the wrong people who will never become customers. Step 3, set a real budget. Here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. You need to spend more than you think. The bare minimum of effective marketing is just 5% of revenue just to maintain your current business level. If you're doing $2 million a year, that's $100,000 a year on marketing. I know that sounds like a lot, but that's what it takes to compete in today's market. Most contractors don't realize that 5% is just to stay where you are. If you actually want to grow your business, you need to be investing 8 to even 10% per year. That same $2 million company, they should be spending $160,000 annually or more on marketing if they're serious about growth. I see contractors all the time who want to double their revenue, but they're only willing to spend $2,000 a month on marketing. That's $24,000 a year. You can't grow a multi-million-dollar business with a $24,000 marketing budget. It's like trying to build a house with a toy hammer. And look, I get it. It's a big number. But think about it this way. If you spend $160,000 on marketing and it brings you additional $500,000 in revenue, was that a good investment? Of course it was. The problem is that most contractors think of marketing as an expense instead of an investment. They'll drop $100,000 on a new truck without blinking, but they won't spend $100,000 on marketing that's going to fill that truck with profitable jobs. If you can't commit to a real budget that matches your growth goals, don't waste your time. You'll just end up frustrated and blaming the agency when the real problem that you were trying to grow a Ferrari business on a bicycle budget. Number 4, nail your branding. Your trucks need to look professional. Your photos need to be high quality. You need videos showing your work. But let me break this down for you because this is where a lot of contractors lose customers before they even get a chance to bid. Your vehicle wrap is your rolling billboard. When someone sees your truck in the neighborhood, what impression are they getting? Is it clean, professional, and trustworthy? Or does it look like something from 1995 with faded colors and a phone number that's hard to read? In your photos, I'm talking about professional photography, not pictures you took with your phone in bad lighting. When potential customers are scrolling through your website or social media, these photos are doing the selling for you. Blurry, dark, or amateur-looking photos tell customers you cut corners. Here's what you need. Before and after shots that show the transformation, action shots of your crews, of your techs, close-ups to highlight your attention to detail. Make sure your crews and techs look professional in these photos. Clean uniforms, organized job sites, safety equipment that's visible. Videos are even more powerful. A 30-second time-lapse of a roof installation or a quick walkthrough explaining your process builds more trust than thousands of words on your website. If your branding looks like it was designed in 2005, no amount of marketing is going to help you. First impressions matter, especially when you're asking people to trust you with their biggest investment, their home. Think about it. Would you hire a contractor whose trucks looks like it hasn't been washed in 6 months and whose website looks like it hasn't been built by their nephew? Neither will your customers. Number 5, train your customer reps. Contractors spend thousands on marketing to generate leads. They hand those leads to someone who has no idea how to handle them properly. Your CSR needs a proven lead intake process. They need scripts. They need to know how to qualify prospects and book appointments that actually show up. Number 6, master your sales process. Are you using AI in your sales training? Do you have a follow-up system? Are you offering financing options? Let me paint you a picture. You spend $10,000 a month on marketing. You're generating 50 leads, but you're only closing 3 of them. That's a 6% close rate, which means you're spending over $3,300 per customer. Meanwhile, your competitor is closing 15 out of those 50 leads, a 30% close rate, and they're spending about $667 per customer. Same leads, same market, totally different results. The difference? Their sales process. Now, here's what most contractors are missing. First, you need to role-playing training. I'm not talking about once a year. I'm talking about weekly practice with real scenarios. Use AI tools to create different customer objections and practice your responses until they're second nature. Second, your follow-up system. Most contractors follow up once, maybe twice, then give up. But it takes, and here's the reality, it takes about an average 7 to 8 touch points before a homeowner makes a buying decision. You need automated email sequences, text messages, follow-ups, and phone calls scheduled in your CRM. Most of your competitors quit after the second follow-up, which is exactly when you should be getting started. Third, financing. I cannot stress this enough. Offering financing can double your close rate overnight. When you tell a homeowner their new roof is going to cost them $15,000, you're thinking about their bank account. When you tell them it's $200 a month, they're thinking about their monthly budget. Which conversation do you think leads to more sales? Here's the thing. You can generate 1,000 leads a month, but if your close rate is terrible, those leads are worthless. Fix your sales process before you worry about generating more leads. It's way cheaper to double your close rate than it is to double your lead volume. Number 7, dominate your online reviews. Reviews are everything in our industry. If you don't have a system for generating positive reviews and managing negative ones, you're fighting an uphill battle. Now, I could have included this under branding, but I gave reviews their own section for a reason. As a local service provider, positive reviews don't just make you look good, they impact absolutely everything in your online marketing. I'm talking about Google local service ads, local SEO rankings, pay-per-click performance, everything. Here's what most contractors do not realize. Google's algorithm uses reviews as one of the biggest ranking factors for local businesses. A roofing company or HVAC company with 500 reviews is going to show up higher in search results than a company with 20 or 30 reviews, even if that company has been around longer. Another thing too that's also very important, Google local service ads ranking is directly tied to your review score. If your competitor has a 4.8 rating and you have a 4.2 rating, they're getting shown to customers first. Even if you bid higher, your agency can drive traffic to your website, but if people see bad reviews or no reviews at all, they're clicking the back button. Studies show that 93% of consumers read online reviews before making a purchase decision, and they need to see at least 40 reviews before they trust a business. So what's the system? First, you ask every single satisfied customer for a review, not just the really happy ones, every satisfied customer. Second, you make it easy with direct links sent via text or email. Third, you monitor all review platforms daily and respond to every review, good or bad, within 24 hours. Another thing you have to do, you should be generating at least 5 to 10 reviews consistently or more every month. Not just when you remember, not just when things are slow, consistently. Because reviews are like compound interest. The earlier you start and the more consistent you are, the bigger advantage you could build over competition. Number 8, track everything. This is where most contractors fail. You have to know your numbers. You need to calculate your cost per acquisition. You can't just feel like something isn't working. Let me tell you exactly what I mean. Last week, I had a contractor call me complaining that his Google ads weren't working. He was spending about $5,000 a month and he said he wasn't getting any leads. So I dug into his account and found that he actually was getting about 25 leads per month. His real problem? He had no idea what happened to those leads after they came in. Turns out his team was only following up with them about half the time, and he had no clue which leads were turning into actual jobs. He was about to cancel a campaign that was actually working for them because he wasn't tracking the right metrics. Here's what you need to know at a minimum. How much does it cost to acquire a new customer? Not a lead, a paying customer. If you're spending $3,000 a month on marketing and you close 6 jobs, your cost per acquisition is $500. If your average job value is $8,000, that's fantastic. If it's $2,000, you might have a problem. You also need to know your lead to conversion cycle, your average customer job value, right? Your lifetime customer value, and how long it takes from first contact to close deal. Without these numbers, you're flying blind. Another thing to consider that I would highly recommend is that you give your agency access to your CRM. One of the things that contractors really struggle with is optimizing campaigns if you can't really see where the leads are going, right? But if you actually optimize for sales, it's gonna help you see which leads are bringing the highest value. A lot of times I work with contractors who refuse to give access to their CRM. It's like asking a doctor to treat you, but refusing to tell them your symptoms. Your agency needs to see the full picture. Which keywords bring in customers to actually buy, which ad copy converts best, and what time of day generates the highest quality leads. Without CRM access, they're optimizing for leads, not customers, and that's a big difference. Don't pay the stupid tax. Measure everything, because what gets measured gets managed, and what gets managed gets improved. Number 9, can you handle the actual lead volume? This is the problem you want to have, but it's still a problem. If your marketing campaign is successful and you suddenly get 500 more appointments next month, can you actually handle them? If you can't service the lead you generate, you're going to damage your reputation and waste your marketing investment. So it's important that you have the operations and infrastructure to handle those new opportunities. Look, I get it. This seems like a lot of work, but here's the reality. If you don't do these things, you're going to waste thousands of dollars on marketing agencies that can't help you. But if you do get these 9 things dialed in, that's where the magic happens. That's when marketing becomes the growth engine that transforms your business. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, I need help in figuring out how to implement all of this, that's exactly what we do at Contract Marketing Pros. We don't just run ads and hope for the best. We work with you to build a complete growth system that actually generates a return on investment. Head over to contractormarketingpros.net right now and book a free strategy call. We'll audit your current situation, show you exactly what's missing, and create a custom plan to get you ready for explosive growth. The link is in the description. Or just search contractormarketingpros.net. Don't be a part of that 73% who waste their money on marketing. Be part of the 27% who do it right and see massive results. I'll see you on the strategy call. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our weekly contractor marketing content.